Rangers. Texas manager Bruce Bochy got tossed for arguing a strike call on Aaron Judge. The Red Sox shut out the Mets 2-0. Boston starter Walker Buehler and manager Alex Cora ejected in the third inning for arguing balls and strikes. Buehler was activated earlier in the day from the 15-day injured list. The Cubs pounded the Marlins 14-1. The Pirates shut out the Reds 1-0. Bailey Falter struck out 5 and allowed 4 hits over 7 innings for the win. The Rays got by the Astros 3-2. Chris Bassett and the Blue Jays shut out San Diego 3-0. 6 strikeouts for Bassett over 6 innings. The Brewers beat the Orioles 5-2. The Tigers over the Cardinals 5-4. The White Sox shut out the Mariners 1-0. In 10 innings, the Dodgers beat the Diamondbacks 4-3. Save big when you bundle auto and home, renters, or condo with Progressive. That's the Sports Grid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
Summer is calling, and guess what? Macy's has the answers for every adventure, with new swim trends and sandals to take you from the beach to the beach bar. Plus, linen suits from Tommy Hilfiger and Michael Kors, and dresses from CC to take you from brunch to the dinner party. Even better, get it all for 25 to 60% off at our Memorial Day sale. So wherever this season takes you, make Macy's your first destination. But hurry, the sale starts Wednesday. Savings off sale and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
It's me, Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash. I see those dry elbows, baby. But don't worry, get moisturized right in the shower. So hydrated you can skip the lotion after.
Don't wanna see it dry no more. Skin so moisturized with body wash.
Look at you now. No more dry skin. Your skin gets the moisture it craves with
Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash.
You don't have to sink a 30-footer from the end of your driveway to come out of the NBA playoffs smelling like a rose. Sports Grid brings you all the angles, insights, and odds. And more to make you a winner. This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.
The only place in football where the offense is always on the field is on Moneyline. With the two best hosts in radio, Donnie Rightside.
If anybody wasn't watching, listen, I don't know what you were doing.
And Kevin Walsh.
Forget act like you've been there before.
On the Sports Grid Radio Network, Sirius XM Channel 159.
Oh, we got theater today. The best hour of your day officially now underway. It's your boy Donnie Rightside here on a solo mission on a hump day, Wednesday, which is normal Major League Baseball action-packed hour, no doubt about it. But our eyes are focused. Not right now in Major League Baseball, but in the state of Minnesota, the owners' meetings in the NFL voting on some key things for some rule changes, possibly for the 2025 season. Jeffrey Lurie just spoke for over a half hour, giving way to Jason Kelsey to try to get the NFL owners to be on his side and say, you know what? You know, push should not be banned, whether you like it or not. The interesting parts will come up. We'll get these hot topics out of the way here because I do want to have a couple comments here before we get to the Major League Baseball card, which looks like to be a decent one. Weather conditions I'm not really liking so much. And we're still, it's May 21st, man. Look at the Northeast. You're looking at a game in the Bronx today, looking at a game up in Fenway, 50 degrees, wind blowing in. Enough with the madness, man. Like, let's get these temperatures consistently in the 80s. Let's start digging in and making a ton of money. Baseball's been good to us, though, after the past couple of days. Yesterday went 2-2, juiced out very slightly. But we'll be back at it today with some other, topics I want to bring up of why the betting strategy with a slight shift in some of the numbers that we're getting now and where we can still make money. That's all coming up in this hour of Moneyline. Everybody piling into the chat box here. I see Darren's out there, Aaron's out there. If you want to join us in the chat box and watch this radio program live and be able to get information directly to me as the host, you go on YouTube. You type in, it's 3 words. Sports Grid is the first word. Second word, on, O-N. Third word is demand. Hit that, find the live show, get in the chat box, say hello, share the information. Everybody out there is trying it. Everybody out there is having fun with that. But if you are listening through Sirius XM Channel 159, fantastic. SportsGridRadio.com, absolutely fantastic. SportsGrid.com, fantastic. If you want the app for Sports Grid, go find it wherever apps are available. And also, make sure you're getting in here in the chat box and having fun with us. It's the way we do it. But again, big doings today. We're going to get to the NBA. We'll talk about what happened last night in OKC. Nailed it. We'll talk about what's going to happen tonight in Madison Square Garden in New York City. As I said, we're going to hit that Major League Baseball card, but also these hot topics that continue to flow, and you want to get down and try to have some fun with these. We talked ad nauseum yesterday about the NFL approving, hey, you guys can go to the Olympics and play flag football and have that fun. That's all fine and good. Get that out of my face. I'm focused on what's going on today because a couple of key indicators. Number one, which was a rule they were going to vote on, which I never thought made any sense whatsoever. The Detroit Lions said, you know what? Wouldn't it be great if the NFL really went against divisional alignment and said, just give me your better records and we'll slot that way once we get to the playoffs? Which the one thing you can always respect about the NFL is the divisions really matter. In the NHL, I can't name any of the divisions. In the NBA, I can't name any of the divisions either. But in baseball, you can because divisions matter. You're taking a look here at the NFL, divisions matter. Rivalries matter. We like that type of stuff. But for the proposal that was put in that basically said, all right, if you win the division, yes, you get into the playoffs, but it doesn't guarantee a home game. Like, that's the first goal for every NFL team. Let's win our division. The prize for that division is, yes, you get a hat. Yes, you get a T-shirt, but also you get a home game, and everybody understands exactly how the playoff seeding works. Let's not convolute it. Let's not get wishy-washy at this point. Keep it the same. And thank goodness that rule was even pulled before they had the ability to vote on it because of how stupid that was from the Detroit Lions. Enough with that nonsense. Forget about it. Get it out the window. Secondarily, voting on today and ratified the onside kick, which over the years, forget about the way it is now, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. You have a kicker and you have 10 players. Used to have equal amount of players on each side of the kicker. Then for the onside kick, you would run to the other side while the kicker was kicking, or you would just line up on the other side. So it was 10 on 11, go get the football, best man wins, and it had a decent conversion percentage if you were the team looking to onside kick and recover it. But it wasn't overwhelming because it was like a last-ditch effort. Now, in the advent of dangerousness, which I don't know how dangerous the onside kick was at that point, how many people were actually getting injured, they changed it to basically you're not allowed to get the onside kick. So the NFL again saying, well, it is about safety, but if we can give up a little safety and get you the football back, maybe that's better. They're now moving the kick up one more yard, which is supposed to increase the percentage chance for you to get that football back. How much more than 6%? I don't know, but we'll try it this year. It's anything's better than what we've been getting, but at the same time, rewarding the team for losing a football game was never on like my agenda. Like, if you need to get bailed out, it should be like 5% bailout rate. It should be 50% you get the football back. I don't think we understand that. But also moving it up 1 yard. Like I was talking to Kevin yesterday, if you guys were listening as well, you're trying to find that focal point to say, well, why don't you just line up 3 yards apart or 5 yards apart? Because then the collisions aren't so heavy. And if it's about in the name of keeping our players safe and in the name of safety, I don't understand what the 1 yard is going to do, but they'll try. But just please do not take me down the path of a 4th and 15 type wager or play, I should say, to keep that team on the field to ruin my wager if I have a team that's leading at the end of the football game. Don't bastardize the game. Don't do it. Keep it the same. Football's been fantastic for 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years. Don't mess this up. Please don't mess this up. I'm fine with the onside kick change. Just don't turn it into a mockery by having said team be able to come back because they're converting 4th and 15s to keep the football, and also because of a 5-yard illegal contact penalty. We're moving on from that. But the biggest news today, which we are waiting any moment now, Diana Racine has been on top of it, the vote to ban or approve the tush push for 2025. Dating back a month ago, they had tabled the request from the Packers because they didn't like the language in the proposal. It's clear that Roger Goodell wants this play banned, but it is going to be a close vote, stating that Jeffrey Lurie showed up today and spoke for a half hour on the merits of the play and also the ability to get injured, which is nil, apparently, and then brought in Jason Kelce, a guy that retired, holds a lot of weight around the NFL as a center, saying it's not a bad play. If I had to run it 80 times in a game, I can certainly do that. So it'll be interesting to see where that vote goes, but understand this. Like the tush push going away, the fun part about this is the Eagles are still going to be unbelievably dominant at that play. Like they are going to run it repeatedly and smash 1 yard plays left and right. Like the proposal change is funny. Like the Eagles will be just as dominant without the tush push and just using the quarterback sneak. bad offensive line, a dominant quarterback, he's going to get that yard 98% of the time instead of 98.3% of the time. They're going to get that. Opening night against the Dallas Cowboys, they will convert that multiple times. They will be on the goal line. They will score multiple times using the tush push. It's just what they do. It's just what it is. And also, reading the proposal from the Green Bay Packers, which I do think is pretty funny, I'm telling you right now, there are ways, like, hear me out. This is going to be a legal play that you will find from the Philadelphia Eagles. Tush push formation, but instead of having the two players in the backfield, they will move those players on each side of Jalen Hurts and push the guards and the center forward, allowing Jalen Hurts to plow forward. Like, I don't think it's going to be intended the way they want it. Oh, you just can't push the quarterback. That's not what gets the first down. It's the pulverizing it to the line of scrimmage. So again, picture the Philadelphia Eagles with a Jalen Carter on one side and another defender on the other, pushing the guards and the center while Jalen Hurts is behind them. That's what it's going to be turned into right now. It's going to be incredible. I'm telling you, it's going to be incredible to watch. And the NFL will have to call an emergency meeting after opening night on Thursday night saying, like, the Eagles just got around this play once again to see what's happening here and throw their hands up in the air. So the tush push being banned, me as an Eagles fan, I think it's just kind of funny. I don't think it's going to have any impact whatsoever on the Eagles getting first downs in short yardage situations. I guess it's just the optics. They want the quarterback pushed. Not going to change anything. The Eagles will be extremely successful. And Jalen Hurts will score over a dozen touchdowns on the tush push next year. Just going to happen that way. Major League Baseball, more topics next.
Boys of summer have returned and taken the field for the great American pastime. You should monetize that. Get the winning edge. This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.
With the Sports Grid News Flash, I'm Trey Westerberg. This update brought to you by Sky Rizzi. U.S. health officials are investigating a new outbreak of salmonella illnesses tied to a Florida grower whose tainted cucumbers were linked to more than 550 illnesses last year. Cucumbers grown by Florida-based Bednar growers and distributed by Fresh Start Produce Sales have been linked to illnesses in at least 26 people in 15 states, according to the FDA. Passengers on Southwest Airlines flights will soon be required to keep their portable chargers in plain sight while using them. This is due to concerns about the growing number of lithium-ion battery fires. Southwest announced the new policy will go into effect May 28th. A New Orleans jail maintenance worker admitted he turned off water to a toilet covering a hole in a cell wall, allowing 10 men to squeeze through the gap in one of the largest jailbreaks in recent U.S. history. 33-year-old Sterling Williams faces charges. 5 of the 10 men are still at large. I'm Trey Westerberg with the Sports Grid News Flash.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your boat, boat wins.
What are you going to do? Take the boat out for a spin or go mail something? Boat wins! Are we cleaning the patio or taking the boat out fishing? Boat wins! Are we skipping that eye exam to go sailing? Boat wins!
Rescheduling eye exams can be a nightmare.
All right, fine. Eye exam, then boat. Yeah!
With Progressive, you can bundle your boat with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings on your boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Something amazing is happening in networking. Organizations are scaling with less stress. That's because CDW is designing and implementing intelligent HPE Aruba networking solutions that simplify and secure operations. With automation at the center of your data center, growing pains can be a thing of the past. HPE Aruba Networking and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Aruba.
You don't have to sink a 30-footer from the end of your driveway to come out of the NBA playoffs smelling like a rose. Sports Grid brings you all the angles, insights, and odds. And more to make you a winner. This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Right back at it, people. Solo hour for your boy Donnie right side here, Sirius XM Channel 159. Sports Grid Network, it is Moneyline. And we are going to talk some Major League Baseball and a lot of Major League Baseball. I told you before, opening the show, it is brutal temperatures out there. And a lot of winds blowing in, which we don't like to see it out there. Vic Ferrari's in here, as well as Francisco, as well as Jordan P. Welcome into the chat box on Sports Grid On Demand. Having some fun chatting back and forth, talking some Major League Baseball, which we will do in just a few moments. We are going to get news, probably fairly quickly, on the final vote here on the tush push And I believe Jeffrey Lurie's done speaking. I want to say, hopefully, that Jason Kelsey is done, and they can vote on that just to see the way it comes out. Because yes or no, it comes out, won't affect the Eagles season, won't affect everybody's season. It'd just be funny that, one team was so dominant at a certain play and won the Super Bowl that the ripple effect was, we can't let this team actually do this play again, only to find out it wasn't the tush push that was actually doing it. It's just the quarterback sneak itself, and we'll find that out once the season starts next year. NBA news last night, you saw OKC absolutely smash in game number 1, the Minnesota Timberwolves. I told you I like that spread very much at -7.5. I believe it dipped around the 6.5 at some outlets, and I thought that was a great play, as well as Anthony Edwards under 27.5 points, which dipped as low as 25.5 yesterday during the day, and that was a nice victory for them. We'll see what happens. Now, understand this too. Let's move forward and take a look at tonight's game in the Garden. I think it's a must-win for the Knicks tonight, and I do think the Knicks get it. But there's 2 wagers that I did like today. It was the New York Knicks. I'll lay the 4.5 points because I think they absolutely have to win this game, and they will. The total 223.5. Don't have a great feel for that. I'm usually more of an over guy early in the series as opposed to later in the series where I tend to look more at unders. But I do have Karl Anthony Towns under people. 1.5 3-point shots made, which means he can make 1, he can make 0. You cash that ticket, he makes 2, you lose it. That was a plus money number this morning at the FanDuel Sportsbook at plus 118 on the docket. So looking forward to the NBA tonight. I do enjoy it. The atmosphere around the New York City fans, fantastic. The Garden's going to be knocking tonight, going up against the Indiana Pacers, 2 quality teams. So I'm just hoping in both series, Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals, that we get some pretty good looks and we can certainly have some fun with that. All right. Lineups are starting to come out for Major League Baseball today. We might as well start to get the handicapping and the prospects that we're going to be taking a look at. Over the past couple of days, here's what's happening. And, books do adjust, and you have to adjust accordingly as well. To start the season, we were doing very well, mainly with 2 and 3-leg hit, run, and RBI props, which a lot of sports books have. FanDuel has it, but they're usually a little bit later in the day or closer to game time. Bet365 usually has them out all day long the minute they put their matchups in. And it's been a great market here. But what I've noticed is the price points have certainly changed in that marketplace where you used to be able to get 2 players at around similar. And I'm not talking about bum players that you never heard of. Like 2 players at maybe a -125. It's like, you know what? I'll certainly take that. Then it turned into, no, you need 3 players now to get that -115 or the +100. And it's like, are we getting price-appropriate numbers based on what the expectations are? Early in the season, we were. Now we're not. So now, as you see, like last night, I had 3 legs of my HRR, which was on the Los Angeles Dodgers, get me a +100. Ball players, too. Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, and Max Muncy. That one did come in. But, a month ago, you could probably get Ohtani and Freddie Freeman at a -130 or so price. No longer the case. Adding more legs into it for approximately the same price, that usually goes for your downfall at that point. Now, I've sort of adjusted it in some instances to say if I can't get the 2 really good players that I want at a good price or even 3 at a good price, downshifting to taking those players with just to get a hit markets, which is a much cheaper market. We're going to have to pay all the dues as opposed to the hits, run, and RBI market. I sort of worked that in, and it's been to my success. But also, the RBI market is always going to be phenomenal. Yesterday, I had 2 RBIs, both of those in Colorado. One was for Kyle Schwarber. I think it was a -135. One was for JT Realmuto, +135. Ended up splitting those. I didn't hit the dog price, but I hit the favorite price in Kyle Schwarber and split those. So 2-2 day yesterday, but just the evolution of the season and what you like to look for. The same thing as we're taking a look at the batting props. Don't care what you did in last week of March. Don't care what you did in the first 2 weeks of April. I care what you've done over the past month, which typically would include much warmer temperatures, which you think would be there. Now, today, we're not getting that in a lot of environments here. You're getting 60s into the 50s, rainy conditions, and winds blowing in, which is something that we never like. But if we are taking a look at the card today and the pitchers that are available, some of the old favorites show up, right? Like worst pitcher on the card who seems to be pitching well at times is Randy Vasquez. 23 2/3 innings pitched over the past month here, guys. An ERA of close to 5 and an xFIP of 5.55. Every time he's out there, he's always going to be a viable fade option. An interesting one today, last 30 days, Ryan Yarbrough of the New York Yankees. Only 13 2/3 innings pitched, a stellar ERA, but a crazy bad xFIP number of over 5. You take a look at Andrew Heaney for Pittsburgh, 3.91 ERA, 5.14 xFIP number. There are big discrepancies on some of these pitchers. Now, guys that we have faded in the past, like Chris Paddock had a very good start last time out. Kohanowitz, one of those guys we were teeing up over the first 3 months of the season, he's pitching better at this point now. The same old pitchers that you want to try to avoid, yeah, we get it. Hunter Brown's really good. An ERA over the past month, 1.38. Jacob deGrom, 1.53. But here's one of the interesting ones that you take a look at, too, because it's the battle of ERA versus analytics, which I always lean towards the analytics. 28 pitchers on the card today over the past month that have at least 5 innings pitched, right? So we're looking at that sweet spot, 25 innings, 30 innings, just to give ourselves a pretty good look. Max Meyer of the Marlins is on the mound today. He's got 26 and a third innings pitched over the past month. How about his ERA, guys? A 6.15, which is a disaster, but a sparkling xFIP of 2.89, right? K percentage out there makes some sense. Walk percentage, you want to try to keep that lower. His BABIP is a 3.66, which means the batting average of the balls in play. So if you just put the ball in play to a 3.66, that's incredibly high at this point. But that's what factor. He's got that high ERA, but that low number. So our goal today is to try to find the pitchers that we want to fade and counter them with the batters that have high numbers. But also, guys, be careful. Like, I know you can always live the fight another day. It's a large card today, but some of the weather conditions in some of these games, very detrimental. We'll go over those next, right here on Moneyline on a Wednesday.
Stamping out the boredom in baseball year after year. We bring you all the angles, insights, and information you need. This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.
The Sports Grid Radio Network presents This Date in Sports History.
1981, the Stanley Cup Finals. The New York Islanders win back-to-back titles, beating the Minnesota North Stars 5-1 for a 4-1 series win. For Sports Grid Radio, I'm Mike DeMurgis.
The Technology Minute with George Capalbo.
Flying construction robots, coming soon to a building site near you. Swiss researchers have found that precision flying construction robot drones, similar technology to that used to create those beautiful synchronized aerial displays, can be used to precisely position large objects, assisting construction workers at great heights. Synchronized drone swarms autonomously constructing entire buildings in remote locations, hazardous conditions, even cutting down on construction accidents. Ouch. Follow me at Capalbo on X and stay tuned to the Technology Minute for more cool stuff like this.
Football full circle.
People play flag football because they're not at an elite level to play contact sports and can't play in the NFL. And now these players are going to play against high schooler and college kids and try to dominate. And that's what they care about. That is absolutely ridiculous to me. That's the problem with the league and the players today. It's completely ludicrous.
It's Football Full Circle with Ben Stevens and Joe Lisi. Weekdays noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on the Sports Grid Radio Network. In baseball, a batter gets 3 strikes. In sports gaming, you get 1. No do-overs. You need all the help you can get. And that's what you get with us, your trusted source for gaming odds and more. This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Hey now, get after it. Tom Pelissero tweets out, general session of the Spring League meeting has concluded without a vote on banning the tush push, and the debate will continue into a privileged session with only owners. So who knows what that means? And it's a big to do about nothing, to be honest. But it looks like it's going round for round for round right now at this point. But let's get into Major League Baseball. We got afternoon action. A slate that starts at 12:35 has, it looks like, 5 games in the 1 o'clock hour. one game in the 12 o'clock hour, a game in the 2 o'clock hour, 2 games in the 3 o'clock hour, and then the night card tonight. So should be fun here. Vic Roy says Tyrese Halliburton plus 120 on a double-double tonight in the Garden. We'll see how that plays out. First game up here, Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. First thing we look at, temperatures, 66 degrees. That's okay. Light wind blowing in from right field, not too bad. It is a pitcher's ballpark. We get it, with some rain in the forecast. Let's take a look at the pitchers on the card today. The Cincinnati Reds listing Brady Singer as the starter. Here's the interesting part about Brady Singer. 21st out of 28 pitchers on the card today, last 30 days. 25 and a third innings pitched, an ERA of 6 and an xFIP of 4.71. He's fadeable. But here's the problem. The entire Pittsburgh lineup typically is fadeable. Look at Brady Singer over the past month. Weighted on base percentage to lefties, 350, to righties, 367. ISO to lefties, 286. ISO to righties, 190. His collective last 108 batters against the past 30 days at 245 ISO and a weighted on base percentage of 358. If you're looking at that lineup, it's not very good. So if you're saying to yourself, I just want to include O'Neal Cruz in something today, maybe that is your guy. So I'm just going to write down like the batters that would be eligible based on the statistics that we're looking at. And that would be Cruz for Pittsburgh. So I'm going to put Pittsburgh right there. You do have Alexander Canario, 27 at-bats, ISO of 167, weighted on base percentage of 399. Does make a little bit of sense as well. But the entire lineup stinks for Pittsburgh. It's hard to take a team total, or even if you're looking at that RBI market, like O'Neal Cruz has to hit a home run himself to cash in that ticket because nobody else can get on base. It's just a tough sell right there at that point. Cincinnati on the opposite side going up against Andrew Heaney. And by the way, Andrew Heaney, ERA of 3.91, xFIP of 5.14 over the past 30 days, and 25 and a third innings pitched. It's not a great lineup for the Reds. Heaney is a lefty. And to be honest, he struggles more with lefty batters than he does at righty batters, particularly on the season. But he does start to get leaky here against right-handed batters over the past 30 days. If we're looking in the lineup today, and it's not a lot. Like so many times we look at the 30-day batters and it's like, okay, 75 bats, 80 at-bats against right-handed pitching. Hayes has been crushing left-handed pitching, but only 9 at-bats over the past month. Tyler Stevenson, 13 at-bats, crushing left-handed pitching, but again, only 13 at-bats. Weather conditions, not great here. I'm going to pass on the 12:35 game, but I told you, like O'Neal Cruz looks decent, Hayes looks decent, and Stevenson looks decent, but it's just not exactly what I'm looking for. 2 bad pitchers, it's a shame to waste it because you have 2 bad hitting lineups or a lineup or 2 not used to hitting against left-handed pitching, and that makes a difference here. Game number 2, 1 o'clock today, Baltimore and Milwaukee. Sugano was on the mound today, and if you look at his last 30 days, he's 16th on the card out of 28 pitchers. A 2.84 ERA, which is good, but a slightly elevated xFIP number of 4.01. You look at the last 30 days for Sugano, 64 batters, he's faced from the left side. Low weighted on base percentage, but good power numbers at 262. Right-handed batters, he's been very good against. He's not a big strikeout pitcher, and that technically would get you into trouble. But look at Milwaukee today, right? Now, granted, weather doesn't matter. It's inside a dome. But still, like you like in the summer when the roof is open and there's 70, 80, 90-degree temperatures, and that ball can carry. We don't get that there. The roof's going to be closed. It's 48 degrees in Wisconsin today in Milwaukee. That doesn't help. If I'm looking at batters that I like Turang's got a high weighted on base percentage, but a low ISO power number. Yelich is decent here across the board, but Bowers is okay. But again, nothing that I'm seeing here that really sticks out. Baltimore going up against Chad Patrick today. And if you look at Chad Patrick, where's he coming in? 22nd out of 28 pitchers on the card, a 4.33 ERA, and an xFIP number of 4.73. That lineup has been so disappointing. But if you are sticking with the metrics that we like based on the past 30 days, lefties should be involved against Chad Patrick. Jackson Holliday, Gunnar Henderson, Ryan O'Hearn should all be there. So I'm going to write down Baltimore right now. And we are going to go Hendo, keep him first. Holliday, he's in that mix. And number 3, O'Hearn. Those numbers, honestly, stack up well. But that lineup, I almost think like they're fake numbers at this point. But I have to remind myself, we're also using rolling numbers, not from the first parts or late parts of March and early April. We're basically in the mid-April to mid-May, numbers here. Holliday, Henderson, O'Hearn are on the card today. We're going to flip it over next to Tampa Bay. Maybe some warmer weather down there. We'll find out next right here on Moneyline.
angles to make sure you win a little something something. This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Progressive presents the Sports Grid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders. NBA playoffs Tuesday. The Thunder beat the Timberwolves 114-88 to take a 1-0 series lead in the Western Conference Final. 31 points, 9 assists, 3 steals for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Oak City just 2 days removed from eliminating Denver in Game 7 of the conference semifinals, while Minnesota hadn't played in a week. Julius Randle led the T-Wolves with 28 points. Game 2's Thursday night in Oklahoma City. Tonight, Eastern Conference Final, Game 1, the Knicks host the Pacers at Madison Square Garden. NHL playoffs Tuesday, the Panthers beat the Hurricanes 5-2 in Raleigh to take a 1-0 series lead in the Eastern Conference Final. Is Carolina's 13th straight loss in a conference final, going back to being swept in 2009, 2019, and 2023, that time by the Panthers. Florida's the defending Stanley Cup champs. Game 2 in Raleigh Thursday night. Save big when you bundle auto and home, renters, or condo with Progressive. That's the Sports Grid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
Memorial Day doorbuster deals are here at Lowe's. Right now, rewards members save $80 on the Master Forge 4-burner gas grill, now just $149. Plus, rewards members save $900 on the Lowe's exclusive Hisense French door refrigerator, now only $999. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 5/26. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Subject to change.
Something amazing is happening here. Scientists are using AI to study how whales talk to each other. CDW experts can give researchers the power to process complex data with HP workstations, advanced by AMD Ryzen Threadripper Pro processors. With easier handling of AI workloads, your organization can bring powerful insights to the surface. Make amazing happen. HP, AMD, and CDW. Learn more at cdw.com/HPAMD.
Let's keep it real. Baseball can be boring. That's where Sports Grid comes in. Nothing livens up those 9 innings like sports gaming. You might experience something you've never felt in a baseball game, a quickened pulse. This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Owners are still discussing general session over, privilege section next. Mail-in ballots going to be on the topic? Maybe they'll just do the mail-in ballots here. Push it over the top. See who wants to win, see who wants to lose here on the tush-push debate. But we got Major League Baseball debates that are ready to rock and roll. And as I told you, we're just going over Baltimore, Milwaukee, a couple batters that I do think make a lot of sense. Now, I didn't have the updated order here for Baltimore. Let me just hit the refresh button here. Just want to make sure. Let's go down 30 days. 30 days. And we don't have Baltimore up yet, at least on my charts here. But the batters that I do like from that game, again, Jackson Holliday, Gunnar Henderson, and Ryan O'Hearn. And now we're on our way to Tampa Bay, which is really warm. 90 degrees at first pitch. Oh, doesn't that feel good? Doesn't that sound like Florida outside? 13-mile-an-hour wind blowing out to right field. Isn't that absolutely tremendous? Here's the problem, people. Hunter Brown is pitching today for the Houston Astros. You might say, like, Don, I'm just going to fade the pitchers because of weather conditions. Do so at your own peril. Hunter Brown's last 30 days in Major League Baseball, guys, 32 2/3 innings pitched. How about a 1.38 ERA? How about a 2.27 xFIP number? I don't care who is in the lineup today. For Tampa Bay, we're not fading Hunter Brown. Opposite side, Taj Bradley, a guy that you might be able to get down on here. Why? Because you take a look at Taj Bradley on the card today. 28 total pitchers listed. Taj Bradley's 25th. Taj Bradley has an ERA of 4.45. Taj Bradley has an xFIP number of 4.95. Taj Bradley has struggled more with right-handed batters than he has left-handed batters, which is perfect because you don't get a lot of left-handed batters in the lineup today. And by the way, it's a confirmed lineup. There's not a single left-handed batter in the lineup today for the Houston Astros. That game starts at 1:10. So I'm going to write down right now the chances for the Astros just to have us a nice team total over as opposed to a, let's just say, individual props, which we'll get to in a second, might have an opportunity. X-Man's in the chat box. He's royalty out here on Moneyline. Welcome to the chat box. But the Astros team total might make some sense. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players with elevated weighted on base percentages here going up against Taj Bradley against right-handed pitching over the past month. Jeremy Pena, Isaac Paredes, Yanier Diaz, and Christian Walker. So if I write down, I'm just going to write down those batters right now. That's a lot of them, but we'll be able to decipher. That would be, again, Pena. It's 1, Paredes, has 2. Paredes hit a home run yesterday, too. Altuve never comes up on my card. He's just got bad numbers across the board. Don't know what the deal with this. Batting third today, though. No longer second, no longer first. Diaz on that list. And number 4, Christian Walker. So we got a lot of options here. We got 4 options that I do like. Jack Myers coming in with a slightly higher weighted on base percentage, but also understand this too. Taj Bradley used to be a K guy. No longer a K guy, man. Last 30 days, only striking out about 15% of the batters he's faced. This might be a decent opportunity to buy low in Houston. We'll get back to that in just a few moments. But again, we're not fading Hunter Brown at all. All right, let's go down to Miami. 91-degree temperatures, but it is a dome. Probably have it closed. Be nice to have the windows open there. Let the heat and humidity in here on an afternoon in Miami. We'll see if it happens. I'm not holding my breath. Cade Horton is on the mound today for the Chicago Cubs. Doesn't have a lot of statistics here. He's coming in 18th on the card, but again, only 9 innings that he has pitched here. He's pitched in what? 2 games, and he started 1 game here. 6 ERA and a 4.11 xFIP number. Let me just go back just to make sure that my guy Cade, he doesn't list him here as having an opener, so looks like he is going to be the pitcher of record today. He struggled with lefty and righty batters to his 39 at bat, 30 my batters he's faced. And by the way, I do like a couple of these guys every single day on the roster here for the Marlins. So I'm just going to write down for some food for thought. Agustin Ramirez, he's been very good on the season. So we'll go with Miami here. And the second guy on that card always is going to be Kyle Stowers. Now, Stowers has a 492 ISO against right-handed pitching over the past month, and Ramirez has a 373. Stowers does strike out a lot more than Ramirez, but both of those guys, legitimate to be on their card. Also, Connor Norby. He strikes out. I'm going to put him down, too. Let's go Norby. That might be a sneaky game. It really might be. But again, you don't have a lot to go off of Cade Horton, so sometimes that sort of backfires on you. Now, Max Myers on the mound. He's the guy we talked about to open the show. An ERA of over 6, but an xFIP of 2.89. You got to be kidding me. Like, look at that big discrepancy. Almost a 4-point difference between those. Meyer over the past 30 days, though, he does have that great xFIP number because he is a big strikeout guy, but he struggled with lefty and righty batters here. You look at the lineup today with lefty and righty batters, Kyle Tucker doesn't show out all that well against right-handed pitching, which is kind of funny. Seiya Suzuki does have a high ISO, but a lower weighted on base percentage. P-Crow Armstrong is just fantastic all over the place. So P-Crow Armstrong to me, so we'll go Cubs. There's a lot of guys in this game, though. Cubs will go PCA and also Dansby Swanson, who's been having a very nice month here. By the way, 299 ISO and a weighted on base percentage of 472. K rate higher than what you like at 25%. And Max Meyer is a strikeout guy, but a lot less strikeouts, guys, to right-handed batters than left-handed batters over the past month. PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong, he is a left-handed batter, but he doesn't strike out all that much. Those 2 guys I probably would look at. So we do have some options so far today as I start to section off what we like. Let's keep it going at 1 o'clock here. Cleveland, Minnesota, they're trying to finish a game, get started. I'm probably not going to be on any one of those Cleveland, Minnesota games today because who knows who's finishing, who's starting, who's even available in those. St. Louis today, 68-degree temperatures, not bad. But how about almost a 20-mile-an-hour wind blowing out to right field today between Detroit and St. Louis? If we look at Detroit, and let me just, because a couple of these pitchers I'm not all that familiar with, Herter's on the mound. Let me just make sure we're not getting spiked here with an opener. No, we're not. Brant Herter and Andre Palante. We should be fine on both sides. If we look for a left-handed pitcher, Herter doesn't have great numbers, but where is he at on the card overall? He's actually 11th with a 1.80 ERA through only 10 innings. See what I mean? Over the past 30 days. xFIP is slightly higher. Getting hit around by lefties, but only faced 13 left-handed batters over the past month. And righties are the way that you want to go. So no play here for that. It's a shame, too, because you would want to stack up on left-handed batters. Now, do we have an opportunity to get some home runs today with this next side of the lineup, which is Detroit? Andre Palante is on the mound. He's had a lot more success through the early parts of the season than the second part of the season. So let me see where Palante is coming in. He's actually 12th over the past 30 days with a 377 xFIP number, which isn't bad. An ERA of 4.82, which is elevated. But again, let's take a look at what he hasn't been doing all that well. He doesn't walk a lot of batters, which is fine. Right-handed batters are a little bit elevated. He is a right-handed pitcher to lefties on the season, a 206 ISO, which is elevated. If we just take a look at the last month, it's a 230 ISO, which is even higher than the full season, and a weighted on base percentage of 334. Now, we look right away to Detroit here today, right? We say to ourselves, well, Who makes sense in that lineup? There's lefty heaven out there. Kerry Carpenter, great numbers against right-handed pitching. Zach McKinstry, very good numbers against right-handed pitching. Riley Green, fantastic numbers against right-handed pitching. Colt Keith, the same way. So now as we take a look at this, I go Detroit and I go team total. But you can also look at Carp. Let's see, McKinstry. We take a look at Green. I told you Colt Keith. There's a lot of action in this lineup. And Sweeney. And then also right-handed batter that's torching the baseball is Javier Baez. I'm telling you, this might be a team total. And also, if we look at the Astros team total, maybe if you just don't want to go straight on those team totals, guys, what you would do is put those together in an alt team total parlay, drop it down by a run or two on each side just to give yourself some room. But I do think that makes sense. And again, Palante is not that pitcher that we have sort of in that bullseye range, to be honest. You look at Palante and say, well, Donnie's got a high ERA but a lower xFIP number. But you also have to throw in where you're playing. And if I'm going to get close to a 20-mile-an-hour wind blowing out to right field with close to 70-degree temperatures in the afternoon, that's probably something that we certainly would want to play here at this point. So let's take a look. I think it might make some sense. And again, these are 1 o'clock games, guys. Like this show ends at 12 o'clock. I'm probably not going to be involved in that Cincinnati-Pittsburgh game. So we have roughly like an hour to sort of get some of these things around. And you don't want to make the wrong decisions. It's not what I'm trying to say. But sometimes it does get tricky when there's so many good batters in a lineup. What's the expectation for everybody getting RBI? Or do you just go with the team total as a whole? We'll make those decisions, and we'll make the right decisions. Moneyline, right here on a Wednesday. We'll be back.
By the end, you might not have a ring on your finger. Stay tuned and you'll have a little something in your pocket. This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Progressive presents the Sports Grid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders. NHL playoffs Tuesday. The Panthers beat the Hurricanes 5-2 in Raleigh to take a 1-0 series lead in the Eastern Conference Final. Is Carolina's 13th straight loss in a conference final, going back to being swept in 2009, 2019, and 2023. That time by the Panthers. Florida's the defending Stanley Cup champs. Game 2 in Raleigh Thursday night. NBA playoffs Tuesday. The Thunder beat the Timberwolves 114-88 to take a 1-0 series lead in the Western Conference Final. 31 points, 9 assists, 3 steals for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Oak City just 2 days removed from eliminating Denver in Game 7 of the conference semifinals, while Minnesota hadn't played in a week. Julius Randle led the T-Wolves with 28 points. Game 2's Thursday night in Oklahoma City. Tonight, Eastern Conference Final, Game 1, the Knicks host the Pacers at Madison Square Garden. Save big when you bundle auto and home, renters, or condo with Progressive. That's the Sports Grid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Walk right through the door. It's all here to explore. With guys in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now, there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co., LLC, used with permission.
Springtime. When a young man's fancy turns to... Get your mind out of the gutter. For sports gaming strategies and information that gives you an unfair advantage, you'll find it all right here. It's the winning edge. This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Savagery, people. The Philadelphia Eagles official account tweets out, push on, with an Eagles logo, and the Eagles doing the tush push against who? The Green Bay Packers. The Eagles tush push has survived another year by not necessarily winning the vote per se, because you needed 75% support for the owners to pass it and ban it. We weren't able to get that done. The tush push lives on. Jason Kelsey spoke with Jeffrey Lurie this morning. By the way, there's no way that was enough to push the vote back at that point, right? And somebody brought up a good point here on social media. Like, national beat writers usually have pretty good crowdsourcing of who they're talking to and who they're going in with. They all had it as, oh, it's going to be like, and they tabled this because it's automatically now going to be banned. They were so wrong on this, too. Because it looks like it was 22-10, which is a smashing by the Philadelphia Eagles votes on their direction to keep it here. It says roughly 6 teams flipped on the no vote in March to supporting the tush-push ban, but the proposal still fell short. It needed 24 votes to pass and only had about 21-22 per sources. So, again, it's not that big of a deal, to be honest. So, I mean, the Eagles really were going to dominate in short yardage situation on the quarterback sneak anyway. Like, you're telling me that Dallas Goedert with one handle and Jalen Hurts was enough to, oh, my God, it's a banned play. Like, no, it really didn't make any difference at all. The Eagles are monsters on the front line with a quarterback that can squat 6, Rolls Royces on his back. That's why it worked at this point. So it stays in there. The tush-push survives. The big news of the morning, now getting released at 11:45 a.m. Eastern. The tush-push lives on. The Eagles will do it 6 to 8 times on opening night, get everybody mad, score multiple touchdowns, and away they go. Jalen Hurts was built for that. He gets to keep that play, and away we go. Now, granted, let's get back to Major League Baseball. We got some good topics right now in some of these games. We really do. One that we don't, which is a shame. You got a game that probably might get over the total, but the fact that it's 53-degree temperatures and rain, Seattle and Chicago, that's the White Sox, can't get after it. Just can't do that. You get some good batters in that lineup today, too, for Seattle, but it's just a shame at this point that you look at it and say to yourself, I can't do that. 3:40, again, Cleveland and Minnesota, we're leaving those games out because they might play 3 technical games today, 1 to finish, 1 doubleheader, and 1 first game of the doubleheader. Get out of town. We're not betting on that right now. No shot. 0 shot at this point. All right. Next up, Kansas City, San Francisco. This game takes place 3:45 out on the West Coast here. 69-degree temperatures, just like every day in San Francisco in the afternoon during baseball season. 9 mile-an-hour winds blowing at the center field. Same thing every single day. Daniel Lynch is on the mound. Now, does he have enough? He's got 80 batters this season. What is his last 30 days? Does he have 5 innings pitched? I don't even know if he does. Let's see, Daniel Lynch, where are you at here? He's not listed because he doesn't have a lot of statistics here. Doesn't strike anybody out, but does have good ISO and weighted on base percentage again. So we'll leave that side of it out. Logan Webb on the other side for the Giants, we're leaving him out as well. So no action there, 3:45 whatsoever. 6:45 tonight. Back to the East Coast we go. And the East Coast, mid-Atlantic region, Washington, Philadelphia, New York, Boston, even though the Philadelphia Phillies aren't home, rainy conditions, cooler temperatures. Atlanta and Washington, 59 degrees at first pitch, rain in the forecast, and double-digit winds blowing in from right field. It's almost like you're just taking yourself out of the equation already. Because I got beat bad so many times over the past weeks where we just didn't have great weather conditions. Now, I'm not talking about great weather because, hey, 60 degrees, light winds, we'll deal with it. I'm done with 50-degree temperatures and winds blowing in with rain in the forecast. I really am. Same thing in Boston tonight as we talk about, that northeast corridor. 50-degree temperatures, a double-digit wind blowing in from right field. That's for the Boston-New York game. That's the Mets. Crochet's been great. That lineup for the Mets has crushed left-handed pitching. That's going to cancel out for me tonight, including that weather conditions. Tyler McGill on the opposite side, not going against him either. It's just the weather conditions are too bad, or too cool, I should say, to have a great opinion with 2 pitchers that could have good games on the bump today. You saw a lower-scoring game yesterday in Boston as well. Texas and New York. There we go again, guys. Same northeastern corridor. 52, 53 degrees at first pitch, right in the forecast, and double-digit winds blowing in from right field. Jacob deGrom, I wasn't going to fade him anyway. Ryan Yarbrough, he does have high xFIP numbers, low ERAs, but that left-handed, approach for the Rangers hasn't worked over the past month. I lean more towards an under of 7.5 in that one. Going up to Toronto, it's a good thing that they have a dome because it's 50-degree temperatures and rain in the forecast and swirling winds. Randy Vasquez is on the mound tonight, guys, and you hear this? Yeah, that's my pen right there clicking. Because anytime Vasquez is on the mound, I probably want to get after him. If we're looking at high weighted on base percentages today, let's just say over 300. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of the 9 batters expected. So we will write down tonight also Toronto, team total, over with a chance. And then if we look at some of the batters here, Randy Vasquez, again, extremely high every time. His ERA is about 5, which is bad over the past month. But his xFIP is closer to 6, which is terrible. He gets cracked by left-handed batters. So Bo Bichette has some really good numbers, right, against right-handed pitching, but he's a right-handed batter. The guys, again, that we want to focus on, the Dalton. Actually, how many lefties we got here today? So it looks like, and again, not household names per se, but if I'm just going based on what I know, that's Varsho, that's Barger, almost the same guys I had the other night, and Nathan Lukes. So, those names don't sound too good, but those would be the guys that would be lining up here. Let me just check quickly on Randy Vasquez. I just want to see what he's been doing here. So let's go Vasquez, because you can get into some of the information where we can go to the splits tool and take a look at some home and away splits. So if we look at Vasquez here, splits, lefties weighted on base percentage against him at 364, righties is a 274. You see the discrepancy there? Away numbers on the road to lefties, a weighted on base percentage of 404, which is sky high. Righties, a 254. See what we're getting at here? Let's go into the xFIP numbers of home and away now, because San Diego is a true pitcher's ballpark. Lefties on the season and xFIP here for him, 6.91 to righties, though, 5.03. Home, it's extremely high, too, by the way. Or home is 5.86. Road is a 6 xFIP combined. If we separate the road, lefties a 7.61 xFIP he has against them, which is really impressive. But his xFIP has gotten a little bit better in May. He was a 6.78 in March and April. In May, he's a 4.58, but it's still high. Yeah, then we're going to keep that energy up right now. We really are. We might be able to get something out of the Toronto Blue Jays here in that game today. Opposite side, Kevin Gausman. Not great, but a pretty good hitting lineup here for the Padres. Let's keep moving. One segment left. Baseball on Wednesday. Love it.
We don't care what your high school girlfriend told you. You are a winner. Or at least you will be if you keep it here. This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.
The new Sports Grid app is now available on iOS and the App Store. Experience the ultimate sports betting companion that provides personalized content from your favorite hosts. In-depth matchup previews, game and prop picks, live odds, stats, scores, and more. All in one place. And of course, on the Sports Grid app, you can tune into our live television and radio coverage anytime. On the go, wherever you are. Download the Sports Grid app on the iOS App Store now. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
For anyone who's worried about back taxes, has not filed tax returns, and doesn't know what to do next, stop and listen. Not filing your taxes can have severe consequences, especially in this political climate. Now that COVID is over, the IRS is getting aggressive, massively increasing enforcement and collection efforts. With politicians making all sorts of promises, especially when it comes to taxes, hiding and not dealing with your taxes will cause you harsh legal and financial ramifications. But right now, the IRS offers forgiveness and writes off a massive amount of tax debt. The Tax Doctor offers a free service that helps people get out of IRS collections and back in good standing with the government. Don't hide or bury your head in the sand. Take advantage of our free service. Call now to learn more. 800-816-4492. 800-816-4492. 800-816-4492. That's 800-816-4492.
Carver and Lisi.
Did he get it, Joe? Did Hoskins
Whatever.
get it? Did he get it? Did he get it? Oh, this is another one.
They're not using the Goldilocks balls. They're not using the Goldilocks balls. You could tell the balls aren't carrying. Manfred, just own up to it. Let us all know you're using the styrofoam middles. Every single game, the balls don't carry.
It's Carver and Lisi with Mike Carver and Joe Lisi. Weekdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. On the Sports Grid Radio Network. If you want to be an alpha, you've got to get the winning edge. It's kind of a necessary ingredient if you want to lead the pack. So mark your territory with the winning edge. You're in the big leagues. This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.
I don't know much about this one coming up next year. The Philadelphia Phillies taking on the Colorado Rockies. Obviously a high favorite for the Phillies, as should be. They're going to throw Taijuan Walker in a starting role tonight, who, again, hasn't had that bad of a season so far, mainly working out of the bullpen. He's got a 3 ERA, 3.94 xFIP number over the past 30 days, but only 14 2/3 innings pitched there. You get a pretty good lineup there with Beck, Tovar, Goodman, and McMahon that have handled right-handed pitching. 72 degrees in the Rockies today, but a wind blowing in double digits from left field at around 10 miles per hour. The Phillies lineup, Carson Palmquist, only 19 batters he's faced, Not a lot in there, but again, the normal suspects, Turner, Harper, Schwarber, probably will get down, but we don't do that here. X-Man out here in the chat box again. Shout out, much love to you as well. Akbar for Adam Schefter. Yes, it did pass. It absolutely passed the tush push here. We're just trying to pass some green around right now to try to make some money. But the Philly, I can't fault you. If you're just taking Harper and Schwarber and you're saying, you know what, I'm in Colorado, gets a terrible Rockies team, it probably will work to your advantage. But I just don't know if I can take anything just based on the statistics that I have from just a pitcher that's had 19 batters that he's faced on the season. Heading out to Sacramento, Kohanowitz is on the mound. And one of those guys where you probably still should be fading, but he's been pretty good in his last couple starts. Still getting, ripped a little bit by lefties, but not a great-looking lineup today for those Athletics. The Angels on the opposite side going up against J.P. Sears. And J.P. Sears has a 3.46 ERA over the past month in 26 innings pitched and only a 4.19 xFIP number. It's hard. It's sometimes just fade that ballpark, and I hear you. But I don't know if I'm going to do that today. Probably no action. Corbin Burns tonight. Decent pitcher going up against Dustin May. Now, Dustin May, where is his number set for the past 30 days? He's had 125 batters he's faced. He's 17th on the card. Good-looking lineup, though. Some heavy numbers, man. Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte, Eugenio Suarez, just monster ISOs and weighted on base percentages against right-handed pitching. Those could make some sense, but that's late-night action. So let's do a card recap of what we're looking at. Pittsburgh, I'm not going to be involved in any way, shape, or form. Baltimore, I'm still weighing this out. And let me see if I do have the official lineups here through Roto Grinders. Still not showing. Hold on. You know what? Let me just go to, let's slide back. Let's go over to the Twitter machine. Because I'm pretty sure that those numbers are out here for Baltimore. Let me keep sliding down. White Sox, Pirates, Tigers. What are we doubling up in here? Fantasy Labs gives out the same info as Underdog, so it's sort of clogging my timeline. Let's see here. Come on, Baltimore. Where are you at? So this is 2 hours ago. We don't have Baltimore numbers? Let's go right to Baltimore. What are we holding out for in Baltimore? Hold on now. Let's go right to the Orioles site. ORIO. Come on now. Show me something here. 21st. Oh, they're making roster moves and stuff right now, so it isn't out yet. So it's not official. So I can't say we love what we have, but I did write down, as I told you, Holiday O'Hearn. And let me just bring up that roster one more time here just to see what it is. Holiday, Henderson, and O'Hearn. So you have all three of those guys. Next up, Houston game. Because, again, we're in 90-degree temperatures with a 13-mile-an-hour wind blowing out to right field. Going up against Taj Bradley, who's a great name. Thought that guy would be a better pitcher than he is right now, but struggling this season. An Astros team total could be in the works. Pena, Paredes, Diaz, Walker, all options there. Haven't gone with it yet. Looks like it might be a possibility. And then we slide it over to Detroit. Excuse me, not Detroit yet. What is this? Miami Cubs? Where's the Cubs game at? Did I skip something? Yeah, I did. Chicago and Miami. That's a 110 start today. Ramirez, Stowers, and Norby makes sense for Miami. Then Chicago, our old friend PCA, P. Crow Armstrong, and Dansby Swanson. So we'll have those in the mix to see what we can make it work. Detroit, as we talked about, fading Palante a little bit like Palante. But here's the problem, though, right? Let's see what we got here. Boom, boom. Struggling with righty and lefties combined. And I like that Detroit team. I do. And if you're a lefty batter, basically you're a pull guy, get that ball up in the air close to 20-mile-an-hour winds, should be able to carry. So Carpenter, McKinstry, Green, Keith, and Sweeney in the lineup makes some sense. And then also a little bit later on, Toronto with maybe an opportunity to appear. What time is that Toronto game? That's a night game tonight, right? Up in the 6. 7:07 start. Fading Randy Vasquez. We got options today, people. Let's make the right decisions. Let's get after it. Let's have some fun. All right, boys. That'll do it for today for a Wednesday. For JP behind the wheels of steel, I'm Donnie Rightside. Another edition tomorrow coming up on Moneyline. See you then.
Get more of what makes life worth
living. Actionable insights, analysis, odds, and expert perspective on sports gaming.